been some big changes around here in this building. Those of you who are unfamiliar with NewBoCo, we are on the second floor. I work at an organization as well, and the next presenter does, and runs one of these fabulous programs from our organization. There's been a lot of changes, and he's going to share some of those exciting updates with you in just a few minutes. So if you guys don't mind standing back up again and getting revved up, we're going to introduce Dave from Iowa Startup Accelerator.
I really miss being an organizer for one MC, because getting that rush of everybody's applause is just an amazing feeling. If you haven't presented, definitely consider this. So I'm really excited about telling you about some of the changes for the Iowa Startup Accelerator, the changes that we're making for 2017. First, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the nonprofit that we're a part of. Iowa Startup Accelerator is powered by NewBoCo, and this is a cluster of a lot of different programs that focus on entrepreneurship, education, and innovation. And its mission is to accelerate world-changing ideas from Iowa. My good friend John Foster helped me out with this fancy graphic to help even the people on our team understand some of the changes that we made. Some things have been around for a while. Vault co-working has been around since 2011. Imagination Iowa got started as just a free camp to help kids learn how to code. It is now the K-12 education program for NewBoCo. EntreFest, NewBoCo took that on late last year. We're bringing the event back this year. That is the largest gathering of entrepreneurs and innovators in the state of Iowa. Last year we brought in an in-house software development company, NewBoCo, and at launch day last year we announced Delta V, which is Iowa's first adult code school. And really the last thing that we added was Jesse Lane on our team as an engineer in residence, and that goes with the expansion of Vault co-working to include Vault Labs. But I'm really here to tell you a little bit more about Iowa Startup Accelerator and the changes that we're making in 2017. We've been around since 2014. We have a $1.75 million fund that invests in startups. In our first 3 years, we've invested in 24 companies that have gone on to raise over $4.2 million. 2016 was our last year's cohort. We were excited to announce that 100% of those companies were based in Iowa, and 50% of those companies were women-led. But what are some of the big changes happening in 2017? Our team spent a few months really kind of looking at our history in the first 3 years and thinking about what the iterations, the evolution should look like. Some of them are really big, in my opinion. We're no longer going to focus on one cohort a year. We're actually going to expand, bring teams in 3 times throughout the year. So we're going to have a spring, summer, and a fall batch. We're no longer going to focus on just the 90-day program. We're going to look for startups and entrepreneurs to give us a 12-month commitment to work with us. Each one of these batches is going to feature an orientation week. We'll continue Agile focus. Anybody that's familiar with the things that happen in this building, Agile is a big part of our work, and it's been a huge part of our accelerator the entire time we've been running it. So Agile focus throughout the entire program. Most of our ongoing program will be on Fridays. We think this flexibility is going to open up the opportunity for a lot more Iowa-based companies to be able to participate in the accelerator. We also think it's going to increase the diversity of the teams that we have access to. Applications for all 3 of those batches are open right now. Our spring batch, which will start on March 20th, the applications will close on February 19th, so just barely a month from now. The other big change for us is the evolution of our pre-accelerator program. So in 2015, I ran a pre-accelerator program that was really just a vetting process for people that applied to the accelerator. We iterated on that, made it a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth in 2016. We're actually going to take that out of the accelerator and run this program separate. So this is for idea stage companies, pre-revenue companies, products that have not yet been developed. And this is really where we consider a good start for an entrepreneurial journey. One of the things that we're going to introduce is our 6-week startup bootcamp. So this is for, maybe for people that aren't ready, entrepreneurs that aren't ready for an accelerator. Maybe the business just isn't fit for the accelerator for a variety of reasons. The curriculum that we're going to offer So the other big thing with this is that it's really going to focus on hands-on workshops. So really implementing Agile early on in the company's development, and really focusing on execution, setting a plan, executing on that plan, and taking action. Our curriculum is this. I can talk more about this later on, but big changes, business modeling and planning will be the first part of that program. Identifying early customers will be an early part, but also design thinking. So I think a lot of people maybe in this room are familiar with design thinking, solution-based problem solving method, which I think is really important. We're going to take advantage of all labs, which is in this building, and the prototyping services. So in week 4, we're going to focus on building a prototype that we can use to get critical feedback from customers. Those last 2 weeks of this boot camp, we're going to focus on things like financial modeling and go-to-market strategy. And anybody who's familiar with the way that we run our program, this is actually a big part of what's been inside our program in the past. And a lot of these things entrepreneurs struggle with. They take longer than you might think. So to think that you're going to come out of a 6-week boot camp and know every single answer isn't reasonable, but having a good foundational experience and know where to go next. We're going to really leverage our mentor-driven network to really kind of stick with teams and do some follow-up past the program. The other thing that I'm excited about is the relationship between Vault Co-working and ISA is going to get a lot closer this year. It's interesting, we're part of the same organization, but there's been a lot of separation in the way that they run. So one of the things that we're going to do is produce a lot more educational workshops in 2017. They're going to take a variety of formats, some lunch and learns, some short 90-minute sessions, but you can also expect half-day and full-day workshops as well. A lot of these will be open to the community. If they're fee-based, which some of them will be, you can expect preferred pricing for ISA portfolio teams and discounted pricing for Vault members. So in my opinion, it's really never been a better time to join Vault than right now. Some of these workshops we can talk about during announcements that are coming up. Then we've got some others that are planned as well. Mentioned Vault Labs. Really excited about this expansion of Vault. I think that puts the co-working lab combined at 23,000 square feet. So if anybody's been up in the space upstairs, the co-working space is amazing. There's another 6,000 square feet over here. It includes a prototyping lab. It will give entrepreneurs and early stage companies access to 3D scanning, 3D printing, 3D design. Jesse Lane, who I mentioned, is our engineer resident, so you'll be able to get hardware engineering consulting here. And then one of the things I think is the coolest is the virtual reality and augmented reality studio that's in there. And the ability to offer consulting services. So looking at startups and integrating things like augmented reality and virtual reality is definitely something that the Accelerator is looking forward to. The last thing I want to talk about is investing in startups. Anybody that's ever tried to raise capital, the rumor out there is it's pretty difficult. So we're continuing to work really hard on this. We are going to be hosting the first meeting with the Corridor angel investors this week. And these are SEC accredited investors that intend to invest at least $50,000 in the next 2 years in early stage companies. Anybody that's looking to raise capital can apply to present. You don't have to be an ISA alumni to present to this group. And with that, I would like to, that was a fast 6 minutes. Did I be good on time? Good. All right, so at this point, I'd like to invite the ISA program manager, Molly Monk, up to the stage. She's in the back, so that gives you plenty of time to clap for her. She's been with us since last year.